Hey there, traveler. Welcome to the Kling Connection. Whether you're chasing adventure, inspiration, or just need a break from the ordinary, this is your place to reconnect, recharge, and rediscover the joy of the journey.
From sunrise hikes to unexpected roadside gems, we're taking you along for the ride, exploring places, meeting people, and making memories that stick.
Let's go explore, where purpose meets the path, and let's make every mile meaningful.
Where every road leads to a new story and every destination brings a fresh perspective.
Welcome to the Kling Connection, fam.
If you can't guess where we are today, then you've never been here. It's the Grand Canyon. Here we are, the Kling Connection, and it is fabulous. It's so beautiful today and we're loving it. Sean and I are here and we are of course doing the one-on-one video camera, but if you've never been here, you have to come. It's amazing. We are on the west side of the rim and we are on the skywalk side. So if you we've never been on the skywalk side. I was on the east coast side of the Grand Canyon one time, but this side is really, really cool and we're going to show you all about it.
The sun, desert air and days begun. Dust trails lead where eagles fly to the canyon walls that kiss the sky. Glass bridge beneath our feet, hearts pound with every beat. West side calls, we rise, we roam, nature's edge, and we feel at home. Whoa, Grand Canyon West.
The west part of the Grand Canyon is one of the least visited areas. It's way, way out of the way. It's about maybe 70 miles or so off the highway, give or take, and it took us the better part of an hour to get to this part of the Grand Canyon. Now, it is on a Indian reservation, so even though the Grand Canyon is what do you call it, the national park, it's still owned by the natives here, so you have to come through Indian reservation to get here, and then the costs are a little bit more expensive for them here. Like I said before, there is kind of an entrance fee that you have to pay to come here, so it's not like the national park where things are free. To go up on the skywalk, which we'll get some video of that, we didn't get the tickets for that, is an extra, like a bill a piece. So we kind of forsaken that just because we didn't really see the need to spend that kind of money on it, although it does look really cool and we are going to get some video of it. So just keep that in mind if you come out here and you come to this part, that there is an extra amount on top of the regular fees if you go with the skywalk.
The grandeur of this place is unbelievable, and I'm sure that you've probably heard people that say that same thing. You've gone to the Grand Canyon, you can't believe it's so huge, so amazing, but truly, if you've never been here and you've never seen it with your own eyes, you can't express how large and enormous. It's unfathomable how big it is. You can't fit it in your camera, you can't fit it on a panoramic. It's not something that you can like skim around and try to make it into a big old picture. It's just, you have to take it in with your own eyes, and it's wonderful.
Hit the road before the sun, desert air and days begun. Dust trails lead where eagles fly to the canyon walls that kiss the sky. Glass bridge beneath our feet, hearts pound with every beat. West side calls, we rise, we roam, nature's edge and we feel at home. Oh, Grand Canyon West, where every step feels like a quest. rocks and wind skies so wide. We found our freedom on the canyon side. Oh, this view's the best. Welcome to the wild, unfiltered West.
Here at the Grand Canyon West, they have a Skyview restaurant, so we're going to stop and have a little bite to eat for lunch.
Yeah, we've been on the road since this morning, so outside of some peanut butter pretzels and Cheez-Its and Triscuits, we really haven't anything to eat today, so we're going to have some lunch today. And this is not owned by the national park. It is owned by the reservation, so it's private, so it's a little bit more costly. So if you come here, prepare for that. The menu is kind of limited, but that's okay. We're just going to have a bite to eat, and then we're going to go on to continue to visit the rest of the Grand Canyon sites and make a full day of it. So we hope you guys are enjoying this anyway.
It's really, really amazing. I mean, if you've never been, put it on your list of things to do and see. To come here and just experience the wondrousness.
And the videos don't do it justice. They don't.
No way.
Pictures and videos don't do it justice.
Yeah.
So, all right, well, we're going to grab something to eat. We just wrapped up lunch, and we are going to be jumping on the bus to the second location. Lunch was okay. We'll probably have a better dinner tonight. Like I said earlier, menu selection was limited, but it wasn't a bad lunch, so I'll say that. But we're going to jump on the bus here in a few minutes, go off to our next location and the next stop, and we'll go from there.
I am literally on the edge of the Grand Canyon. There is no fence, there is no chain link, there is nothing here. So I'm not going to stand here for very long because I'm making Sean nervous. But this is literally the edge. And this spot is by far better than Eagle Point, which was the first spot that we stopped. Great, great, spectacular viewing.
Good eye. No. 5 feet. 5 feet. There we go. Yep. This is all native lands through here. When I go up there to those rocks and check it out. These rock formations are really neat. You can see where the wear and tear of water has gone through over the years to create the canyon. I'm looking for some fossils, but I'm not seeing any fossils. But this is really cool if you're into geology. If you look down real far, you can see the Colorado River off in the distance. That's what they say caused a lot of this, was millions of years of the Colorado River cutting through this area. It's hard to believe, though. That's a really long time. But, you know, if you ever see your yard and a little bit of water runs through it just for a day or two, you can always see a little bit. So just imagine it for many, many days.
Everything there fell down from there. And then they just come and move them over to there.
It's a little bit windy here at the Grand Canyon. Down here, a little ways in front of us, are some rock formations. We're gonna go down and check them out. We
just got a part in the tour that shows a cave that has bat guano, which is bat droppings, and they used to mine here. So we're going to check out the location for the old bat poop mining location. It has been years since this thing has been used. Looks now more like a storage facility for the park now, and there's some graffiti, so some kids or something, some vandals got in here and played around with some stuff.
At this elevation, make sure to bring a sweatshirt or a sweater or some sort of extra layer because it is really, really chilly. As you come into the canyon area, it kind of goes warm and cold, but once you come up here and you're walking up into the area, it does get chilly and the wind is pretty slick. So bring your extra and you'll have a great time.
Well, that about wraps up our trip to Grand Canyon West. We hope you guys enjoyed the video as much as we did making it.
We're in the car because it's too windy outside to do our wrap-up.
Yeah, it's really getting windy out, and the place is getting full, so we got here kind of early. So that's another tip. If you want to get here, make sure you get here early, but make sure you bring lots of money with you because they upcharge you for everything.
That's true. Bring some cash, bring your credit card, bring your debit, and be ready to explore the area and take some great pictures because these pictures are ones you're going to want to save.
And if you like what you saw, make sure to like, share, and subscribe, and click that notification bell below so you never miss another Kling Connection episode. We're on Facebook, Rumble. We're also on Instagram and Twitter, so go there and follow along with our journey, along with our website, klingconnection.com. Go there and subscribe for our newsletter, travel hacks and discounts, and all sorts of types of information. And yeah, just give us a chance.
All right. Thanks, Kling Connection fans. We love you.
Until next time, have fun storming the castle.
Bye, guys.
Are you tired of business coaches who promise the moon but deliver, well, nothing? Then it's time to meet Sean Kling. He's not here to tell you what you want to hear. He's here to tell you what you need to hear. With decades of real-world experience under his belt, Sean cuts through the noise and delivers sharp-witted insights that get results. He's built for leaders who are serious about scaling and dominating their industry. Stop settling for sugar-coated advice. It's time for the straight truth that fuels success. Work with Sean Kling. Visit SeanKling.com to book your power call, coaching session, or explore partnership opportunities today. Outwork them all. Outthink, outsmart, outlast.
Fort Worth, Texas is known for its steaks, its cows, and its cattle. We're here at a steakhouse tonight called the Saltgrass. Sean did some investigating and this claims to be one of the best steaks in Texas. So we're gonna try it out tonight and we're gonna let you know how we taste it and how we like it. So come on in, let's go try a steak. The Saltgrass restaurant here. We had to wait a little bit just to get a seat, but it is a Friday night and we're here at dinner time, like 6 o'clock, 6:30, and of course it would be, you know, dinner time and people are here for the same reason we are. But we're excited to see what the steaks are all about, and I'm glad that Sean decided to investigate and kind of treat me for tonight. So this is nice. We're out on a little date and we're gonna be ordering soon and you'll get to see what we're gonna try. This looks pretty good. I've never had quail before, but we ordered some quail wrapped in bacon. We're gonna give it a try.
Not bad. If any of you ever had quail, if you have, make sure to leave it in the comments section below and tell me if you liked it. Seems pretty good right now. But this is just the appetizer. We're waiting for the big meal, a steak. Shayna's having a bit of difficulty cutting the quail. We won't put that on camera.
And my dinner comes with a salad. So I got a salad to start, and it looks delicious, so I'm going to dig in.
And I got soup. Potato soup. Good. Great soup. It's very hot. As hot as Shayna. No, not that hot. Nothing's that hot.
5 minutes later.
Oh. I got the filet Oscar, the crab meat, and it's on top of fried asparagus. I might be in heaven. Thumbs up. Come to Saltgrass.
Let's try. Nice and rare, just like I like it. That's not my stomach. That's a steak. Very, very good. Then we'll have maybe a mushroom. Very good. This is very good steak.
2 hours later.
The Saltgrass Steakhouse was awesome. If you are in Fort Worth, come here and grab a steak. I have another half of it I might eat for breakfast tomorrow morning. I don't know. It was amazing. The waitress, the staff, all of the employees were amazing. The food was incredible, and everything came out, even though they were pretty crowded, everything came out time-wise perfect. You should come here and really try everything. They have seafood, they have chicken, they have all kinds of appetizers. We tried the quail. It was pretty tasty. I mean, wrapped in bacon, what doesn't taste good wrapped in bacon? I mean, come on. It tastes a little bit like chicken. Everything tastes like chicken. No, it really was. It was a great meal. Sean treated me, and it was lovely. And what a great time. Come check it out.
Well, guys, we wrapped up our steak dinner, and like Shayna said earlier, it was really, really good.
Yeah, if you guys get a chance, come to Fort Worth and check out
Grass.
Grass.
Salt grass.
That's right.
Right. And if you like what you saw, make sure to like, share, and subscribe, and click that notification bell so you never miss another Kling Connection episode. You can find us on the web at www.klingconnection.com. We're also on Rumble, we're on Odyssey, Instagram, Facebook, Pinterest. We're all over the place. Follow us, go there, follow us, like our comments. Until next time, have fun storming the castle.
Bye, guys.
Meet the Inmorven X23 camping fan, the portable 2-in-1 fan and LED light that turns every adventure into a breeze. Whether you're deep in the woods, chilling at the beach, or sitting up under the tent and watching the stars, comfort matters. Stay cool anywhere with powerful, whispering, quiet airflow. The X23 keeps you cool even in the heat of the outdoors. Your next great outdoor moment just got an upgrade.
Good morning, Kling Connection family. We are in the stock Stockyards in Fort Worth, Texas. You can't believe it. It's not even 11 o'clock in the morning and you can already smell all the brisket and the barbecue and everything coming off the streets. We're so excited to be here and spend a couple hours checking out the Stockyards. I've never been here, but Sean has. He's gonna show me around and give me a little bit of the scoop about what's cool in here, and I can't wait to check it out. So come along with us.
So what makes the old historic Fort Worth Stockyards so historic? I mean, coming to this place, you feel like you're stepping into the Old West. You're waiting for Bat Masterson or Wyatt Earp to come walking down the street. It's really an interesting place. And what makes it so historic? So today we're going to explore what makes it so historic, and also what are some of the cool things you can do here and get here. So join us along in this adventure today as we explore the Fort Worth Stockyards and the Old West.
I like it here a lot.
Hey y'all! Today we're driving into one of Texas's most iconic gems, the Fort Worth Stockyards. And we'll be giving you ideas where to go and what to do when you get there.
Might look for some boots. So we're here in the cowboy shoe store, and they keep measurements. You know, they do custom made cowboy boots, and the books here, they keep the measurements for all the clients that they've had do cowboy boots.
Stockyards, you've got our boots and our hearts.
Look, they even make the cool sneakers like the kids wear in the leather. This is like the cool kids' shoes. Not that cool.
Like, follow, and join us for more wild rides with the Kling Connection.
You can't come here without catching the legendary cattle drive. Twice a day, every day, Longhorns stroll right down the street.
Then we hit up Billy Bob's Texas. Live music, line dancing, and yep, the world's largest honky tonk. And if you're feeling really brave, snap a photo on a real Texas Longhorn, or get lost in the cattle pen maze. You know, we did. They're doing a cattle drive today in town. Hopefully we get some video for it. It's really cool. There's like thousands of people here listening to this guy talk. You can kind of hear it behind us.
Don't skip the Cowtown Coliseum Rodeo. From bull riding to barrel racing, it's a must-watch.
I love it. They even play some old country music here. We're listening to Patsy Cline. My grandmother loved Patsy Cline. God rest her soul.
I think you could. Yeah, go down there.
This is neat. This reminds me a little bit of like a kind of like an outdoor like courtyard area where you can go and find like lots of different things to eat. They must have barbecue because I can smell it, that's for sure. Maybe some brisket and lots of other things. So let's go see.
Boys, put those guns away for a minute. I gotta talk to my deputy. Y'all stand down there and chat amongst yourselves. Just chill out. Chill out? Gertrude, we're about to have a gunfight.
They just had an Old West shootout between a sheriff's deputy and the sheriff and a couple of outlaws. So they're doing a lot of role play stuff here, which is kind of cool. A little cheesy, but kind of fun. You're into that stuff. Oh wow, they just surrendered.
Sean is taking me out for a steak dinner tonight, and I want to find a cute little top to wear, like a little, like Western kind of top to wear with my jeans. So I'm looking for something. I can't quite find something that just fits me quite right. I don't want to look Western, I just want to look like I fit in a little bit. You know what I'm saying?
No. I don't know what she's saying, but I'll go with it.
Sean wanted me to get a shirt that I didn't like.
So now we're gonna go check out some cows and horses. Oh, horses. We're gonna go check out some horses. Kind of these cattle chute looking things. Let's go check them out.
There are no parking lots. There are just little stalls to park your horses.
If you come to the stockyards and you want to see the cattle drive that they do through the town, they only do it twice a day. They do it at 11:30 and they do it again at 4 o'clock. So those are the two times. Make sure you get here if you want to see it. Those 11:30 and 4 o'clock are going to be your two best bets.
Now they have a mechanical bull here that you can ride, but a little trivia about me. About 2001, I used to actually operate a mechanical bull at a country and western bar in Pennsylvania. Very short-lived, only worked there for about 2 weeks. That's a little trivia for you. About 25 years ago, I was a mechanical bull operator at a country western bar called Montana West in the old town that we grew up in. I don't think it carries any weight now. I don't think they'll let me operate the mechanical bull. I don't even think they'll let me on a mechanical bull, but I just wanted to share that with you guys.
Oh, this is awesome. Oh, yeah, rubber soles and all that.
Yeah.
Have a great day now.
Thank you.
You can get a ride or at least a picture on one of those bulls. Look like who was that character? Mongo from Blazing Saddles. But that would be me if I got on it. I don't think I really want to get on the cow, the longhorn, whatever you call it. I look too much like Mongo now.
I don't think anyone's going to sleep in Justin Hammer's boat anymore.
He's learning me out, man. He kind of lectured us about getting to places.
Take a chance tonight and I'm tired tonight. It's all about the what I
So most of you know I'm a huge John Wayne fan. Love The Searchers, love She Wore a Yellow Ribbon, all the John Ford classics with John Wayne. And they actually have a museum here called the John Wayne Experience. I don't know, we might go inside and check it out, but I love John Wayne.
So neat in here. This feels like Old West.
So what do you think? Is this Old West enough for you guys? I've been here multiple times before. I absolutely love it. It's definitely cool if you're into history and the cowboy and the Western stuff. You get the full immersion experience. Yes, it's a bit touristy, so you have to be cognizant of that. But the thing is just, there's so much here, and the video does not do it justice. If you guys get a chance to come to the stockyards, and get the full immersion experience. Maybe you can stay at one of the local hotels here. It's a great place for the kids. You should really do it. You should really think about coming to Fort Worth. It's, you know, you can fly into Dallas Airport if you're flying. The highways are not that far away, and you know, you can make a couple days of it. You know, you couldn't spend a week here, but a couple days of it, and try some real cowboy cooking. Well, that about wraps up our experience today at the Fort Worth Stockyards. What was your favorite part? Are you a cowboy enthusiast or a Western enthusiast like I am? If you are, make sure you leave a comment below. Tell us your favorite Western movie. Leave a little historical knowledge for our groups to share and our followers to listen to and learn about. And if you like what you saw, make sure to like, share, and subscribe, and click that notification bell so you never miss another Kling Connection episode. You can follow us on Rumble, we're on Facebook, we're on Instagram, we're on TikTok. We're everywhere that you can imagine, and we're now even also on Odyssey, so go there and subscribe and follow along. Or you can also go to theklingconnection.com, subscribe for our weekly newsletter and blog with travel hacks, tips, and experiences all around the country. And until next time, have fun storming the castle.
Are you tired of business coaches who promise the moon but deliver, well, nothing? Then it's time to meet Sean Kling. He's not here to tell you what you want to hear. He's here to tell you what you need to hear. With decades of real-world experience under his belt, Sean cuts through the noise and delivers sharp-witted insights that get results. He's built for leaders who are serious about scaling and dominating their industry. Stop settling for sugar-coated advice. It's time for the straight truth that fuels success. Work with Sean Kling. Visit SeanKling.com to book your power call, coaching session, or explore partnership opportunities today. Outwork them all. Outthink, outsmart, outlast.
Palisades fire is already the most destructive in LA history. Two of our correspondents, Jacob Soberoff and Katie Tur, grew up there. Like so many others, they returned to find a heartbreaking scene.
Our main priority is getting the people out, and we hope people are prepared for these evacuations. And if you're in these warning areas, be ready to evacuate at a minute's notice and don't wait.
I had never seen anything like it before. Over 500,000 acres of buildings and properties burned to the ground. Thousands of people displaced, homes abandoned, cars melted to the ground into the street, and all sorts of craziness going on. Today on a special episode of the Kling Connection, we are going to explore the great Los Angeles wildfires of early 2025 and visit the people that it affected. Now, Shayna's not going to be along with me on this trip because some of you may know I do, as of the time of this video, own a business called Araya Public Adjusting, which is a public adjusting firm that helps people with damages to their home from insurance claims. So Shayna wasn't allowed in the areas that we went to visit. So this episode, you're with me and a fellow by the name of Jonathan, who owns a company called Clean Environmental, who are going to be a sponsor of this video. So join us along on this adventure and check out the great Los Angeles fires and why Los Angeles burned to the ground. Some say it was the homeless setting it on fire, others say it was a government conspiracy, others just say it was very bad land management that caused the fires. Either way, whatever you believe or whatever you've seen, this affected thousands, if not millions of people in the Los Angeles areas. Now, on to our special episode, Los Angeles on fire, LA burning. Right around Christmas time, 2025, the great Los Angeles fires swept through parts of Pacific Palisades and Altadena, as well as other parts of Los Angeles area. The destruction caused by the fires was monumental. I had never seen anything like it, and only kindred it to things that you saw on old World War II documentaries when the cities in Germany or Japan were burned out at the end of the war. It was almost like a ghost town feeling coming through the area, where occasionally you would see a contractor or a homeowner, but for the most part, it was a ghost town.
That's a lot of right there at the beginning. Here.
That's pretty normal.
Yeah.
And then you got a bunch of stuff on the other side of the window too.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, these floors are beautiful.
Yeah, we hope that we can do that over here.
How long ago did you? In a lot of instances, it's cheaper to replace it than actually have somebody like take off the back and go into the motherboard and clean that stuff out. So one of the things that you can do now is like start pulling data off of this stuff and backing it up, right? I mean, if there's anything important on there, like business stuff or tax records or things that you have a tankless water heater on the exterior, if you have any solar on the exterior, I put all these recommendations in my report if I think they may have been compromised electronically or otherwise. So that way you can use that report and, like for example, with your HVAC, your heating and air conditioning system, I must always throw in a recommendation to talk to a licensed contractor about that. I'm not a licensed HVAC guy, but I put that recommend in there so that you guys can follow up and make that call to have it evaluated by a professional, right?
And I think there's some type of latch there.
Yeah,
You said?
you know what? I'm gonna Superman it.
Okay.
I'm coming your way. Perfect. All right, man, almost ready to test. Cool house, huh?
Mm-hmm.
Upstairs will be easier, and then
You own the whole thing, right?
Yes, my dad does.
Okay,
Yes,
okay.
yes, my dad owns the whole thing. He had to take his dog to the vet, so I'm here.
Good.
Yeah.
All right, that's cool. I just wanted to make sure, I just wanted to make sure that he owned the whole thing because
Yes.
My appointment says 111, but I saw 113 on here too.
Yeah.
So
it's true. They're separate, but it's both. He owns both, the whole property.
All right,
yeah.
great, cool. Well, why don't I start? It's upstairs better?
Yeah, upstairs, and then we have the dogs in like our laundry storage room. So just let us know.
They're friendly, aren't they?
They're super friendly, but I know everyone's
Dude, I'm
comfortability
totally
level
cool
is
with
still a little bit
dogs.
different. Okay.
You know?
Yeah.
I don't bite back that hard.
Yeah. Let's see. My brother's up here too. I can walk with this. Oh, well, you guys said you're gonna start on the outside, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
So,
Okay. Cool.
I'm just gonna kind of roll out here. And
Okay.
then I'm just gonna set my
Okay,
thing over
yeah.
here on the table.
Yeah.
All right, great. Well, I'm just gonna kind of do my thing, and if I have any questions, I'll let you know.
Okay. Cool. Yeah. Go ahead. And let me go for make sure I need the lights on.
This is perfect.
It's all it's partially open still. My mom's a clean freak, so she, you know.
She destroyed all the evidence.
She did, unfortunately,
That's
but
okay.
there was a lot. There's still a couple, like you can still see some of it in my, especially in my window, because my
Okay.
window's over here. I had to take my AC, the wall AC unit out, because I realized, oh my gosh, the sun and the ash is getting inside. Sure enough, it did. Some of it's still in there,
Yeah.
and then on my window seal, you can still see some of it there too.
Okay. Yeah, the window unit ACs are gonna have to get replaced because there's just no way to clean the interior of it. Right?
Okay.
So it sucked all that stuff in there.
Yeah.
The only way to get rid of it is to pull it all apart.
Okay.
And it's cheaper to replace it than pull it all apart.
Yeah,
right?
yeah, absolutely.
She said you could.
I know, it starting to look like.
Back door.
100 has been more. Actually, I'm looking at right now.
Oh, jeez.
Yeah, here, I
Look
can
at
move it. So this whole back here looks just like that.
All right. It's all over the floor.
Yeah, you can still see it. And then there's some here at the edge, right here too. I wanted to just
What?
switch here. Sorry, it's kind of cramped. Excuse me. That's where my brother and my dad.
All right.
It's like the living room, dining room area. That's neat.
In contrast, the two neighborhoods that we visited were as far apart as you could be. One was full of people that were working class, blue collar. Many of them lived multi-generational in their homes, grandparents, children, and grandchildren. And others were more affluent people that had second or third homes in Pacific Palisades. And while the devastation was massive, you had to feel for the people that had lost their primary home, especially those with the blue-collar lifestyle and didn't make a lot of money. Today I'm in Pacific Palisades handling some of these fire insurance claims. I'm out here with an industrial hygiene company, and they're doing some testing for the smoke damages and the lead, asbestos, especially for the older homes and that type of stuff. And the destruction here is just, the camera doesn't do it justice. There's guards everywhere, National Guard, California Highway Patrol, local municipal police, you name it, they're out here, they're watching everything, which is good, but there's really not a lot as far as things to loot. I mean, it's really weird how some of the houses are surrounded by houses that are burned out. Like this house behind me over here is in good condition. I mean, relatively speaking, it's probably smoke damage, but if you look over here behind me, you'll see this, and all the houses along the way, this one here, but you'll see other ones down the street. These are all burned to the ground. There's nothing here anymore for these people. So we'll be spending some time in Pacific Palisades. This is a higher end neighborhood. Some of these people have furniture that is worth more than most people's houses. It's really crazy. Again, the Kling Connection, make sure to like, share, and subscribe. This is not our normal travel video, but I wanted to kind of let you guys in on a little bit about what we do. And we just don't make money by doing YouTube. I make money by being a public insurance adjuster that helps people with insurance claims. If you've ever suffered a loss, you know exactly what a public adjuster is if you've had to use one before. If not, well, I help property owners get the money they need from their insurance company. So we're out here today trying to help these people out. The damages to the properties were massive, but there was really no rhyme or reason to how the damage happened. At one corner you could have a home that was completely unscathed except for maybe some smoke damage, and next to it you could have a home that was completely burned to the ground and had its car parked out front marked scrap for the people to come take away. During my month-long stay in the area, I ran into all sorts of people. A firefighter who had just graduated from fire academy that was looking for a job but didn't graduate early enough to fight the fires. The grandson of a 4-star admiral that had fought valorously in World War II. An art collector, an Egyptian doctor, and so many more people. The one thing that they all had in common was they'd lost everything. Unfortunately for a lot of these property owners, State Farm insurance had pulled out months before, or even weeks before, and they'd all had their coverage dropped. They were then covered under something called the California Fair Plan, which, while it is something that insures the property, the policy limits are only around $3 million. And if you know anything about California, $3 million is a drop in a bucket, especially as you get to areas like Pacific Palisades where the homes are over $100 million. Also, the Fair Plan didn't cover things like smoke in your clothes or in your furniture or any type of soot damage. It was only really physical damage from the fire that they would cover. So these people had a lot of uphill battles to go. And unfortunately, a lot of them will never get fully repaid for all the damages that were done, if at all. The insurance industry is ripe with all sorts of people. Everybody from the honest person that makes the claim to the contractor that takes advantage of people to the insurance companies paying out or not paying out. But at the end of the day, everybody was hurting. There wasn't really a lot to be said to these people that had lost pretty much everything. The eeriness of walking into their homes and seeing old Christmas decorations 3 months after Christmas had ended, dishes in the sink or toys under the tree that had been left there in order to let people evacuate before the storm or the fire hit. Many of the homeowners were lucky to have insurance companies like Chubb or even Liberty Mutual. Even though they may still be fighting for damages, at least they had coverage. So not everybody was out of luck. I also met a number of people that had USAA insurance that were covering them. People were coming from all over the United States to assist. I met contractors from Utah and Colorado and New York, public adjusters from as far away as South Carolina, and attorneys that moved in to assist property owners, as well as family and friends. And the donations from a lot of these organizations to help these people out was immense. It was really moving to see this happening. Meet the Inmorven X23 camping fan, the portable 2-in-1 fan and LED light that turns every adventure into a breeze. Whether you're deep in the woods, chilling at the beach, or sitting up under the tent and watching the stars, comfort matters. Stay cool anywhere with powerful, whispering, quiet airflow. The X23 keeps you cool even in the heat of the outdoors. Your next great outdoor moment just got an upgrade.
Hey, Kling Connection fam.
We are at the Clearwater Aquarium today. We're trying to compare it a little bit to the Aquarium of the Pacific that we went to before. I don't know if you saw the video, but today we're at the Clearwater Aquarium and we just entered, and this is one of the first exhibits that we came to. And if you can see down here,
They do it with like shell and sand too.
we can actually come down here and touch.
On a starfish. Oh, they climb on.
The starfish has climbed on top. That's so neat. It's kind of bumpy.
It's okay.
Just want to see how this feels.
That's what they have for breakfast this morning.
I'm going to see this crab down here.
It's a deer cowrie.
Can't reach there too far.
There's shells. Is that a real crab? Yeah. It is.
There's a crab there. Their shells are very hard on the outside. They're like tough to keep away predators, you know? Here's a little hermit crab. This one. He's climbing along. Yes, absolutely. It is another beautiful day in beautiful Florida. Oh, they're so cute.
These two are rough tooths.
About how old do you think they are?
Right now, Rosie, I believe, is about 5, 6 years old, and Rudolph is about 7, 8 years old, so he's a little bit older.
Aww.
But that's the main thing that we do here. We're working nonprofit marine hospital with a mission of rescue, rehabilitation, and release. So if we're not able to release them, we typically get them forever home here. So you'll find that with all of our animals, they're rescues and non-releasable. We're here for educational purposes.
Okay, so communication with them is done how? Just with hand signals and stuff?
Yeah, so with these guys, we have whistles, but with obviously the rescues they can hear as well. So with that, they're mainly like tapping on the water and that type of thing. But we do have like pools that you can see over there. Those are basically like extended hands in a way. So it's just a pool with like a little ball on the end. So they're able to kind of like tap in the middle of the pool, and then the dolphin goes there and does whatever behavior they're supposed to do. So that is their training. We do that mainly for husbandry, physical, cognitive, mental, kind of checking all the boxes, make sure they're staying in the best shape possible.
Okay.
So you'll see that at 11 o'clock is our next dolphin presentation, so in about 25 minutes.
Okay, awesome. Thank you for the info. Okay. We can try to explain a little bit more about that, but these two dolphins here, so they don't have any echolocation sensory, so they were kind of born a little bit disabled. And so the Clearwater Aquarium essentially has saved them and brought them here to the rehabilitation center, and they've been taught to communicate via other ways. So they use tapping sounds on the water, and they use the balls and different ways to communicate. And if they had stayed in the wild, they probably would not have survived. I'm so thankful that they've been able to stay here and live a happy life. Those are some big pelicans. I mean, they are big. On level 3, we just came down from where we saw the dolphins. So level 2 here looks like, I'm not sure, but the door is locked. So we're going to go down to level 1 where we can see the window of wonder, the underwater viewing, there's the boat tours, and restrooms are down there. We're going to head down. Level 1. This is incredible. They like to swim by. Hi, buddy. Aww. They look so beautiful swimming here next to us under the water here. You can see them up top, the two little ones playing. And here comes the other one. He likes to swim by. Hi. Like he can hear me. A plaster replica of the pink dolphin, the river dolphin of the Amazon. So this is a shout out to Abby, our little niece who loves the Kling connection. This is the pink dolphin just for you. The Amazon river dolphin is a true freshwater cetacean. These dolphins are famous for their pink color. The Amazon river dolphin is very agile, and unlike other dolphins, they can move their head from left to right. These dolphins are often seen swimming upside down so they can better see the bottom of the river where they can find food to eat. The pink dolphin is not a figment of your imagination. It is for real, and they don't have one on display here, just a plaster replica. But Abby, the pink dolphin is for you, baby. If you've ever seen the movie Dolphin Tales, the dolphin that played in that movie was here, but has since died. So that's just a little tidbit of information for you. The Dolphin Rescue, this is where they talk about the rehabilitation of the dolphins, and this is probably what the two dolphins that we saw upstairs have been through. There is a lot of underwater viewing areas here at the Clearwater Aquarium. So if you like to see the underwater scenes and, you know, the diving and everything of the dolphins and stuff, there's plenty of underwater viewing. There's like 6 or 7 different spots where you can really get a clear view of the animals swimming underwater. So good job. The weight of the water increases as you swim deeper and actually shows you the PSI as you dive deeper, and the way that the pressure gets diverted in the dolphin's body so that it can withstand the PSI and the pressure that it takes to dive deeper and deeper in the water. It's interesting. All right, we have to go this way to see the otters, the turtles, the shark, the pelican, and rescue deck is all out this window. So we're gonna go. Yeah, they're down there. Looks like they're trying to get a nap. What are you doing, buddy? That's a beautiful sea turtle. So I don't know a whole lot about sea turtles, but one thing I do know is that they can live for a very, very long time. And they're beautiful when they swim. You know, their flippers can go out really wide and they swim so gently. I just love the way that they look. Oh, hello. You want to be on camera? How do you measure up to Rufus? Let me see. I'm going to stand right in the center. I don't know. Not very good, do I? Let's see. Oh yeah. You're better than me. Some more stingrays. I'm gonna touch. They're really soft. Oh, I love the seahorse. I love the seahorses. I think they're so cute. Look at how he uses his legs to kind of walk. Look at this guy. He needs a makeover. What is this? The possum is in here, but I don't see where he is. Maybe he's sleeping. I don't see him. Yeah, Sean reminded me that possums are nocturnal. So he's sleeping right there in his little bed. He's happy. So we're not going to be able to see him, but that's okay. Maybe he's sleeping. I don't know how sharks sleep. I think maybe they just rest like that. Maybe on the bottom with his eyes closed. The other sharks are swimming around. Love the fish. This guy. He's cute. Look at him with the spots. Hi, buddy. He looks like he wants to kiss me. Mwah. That guy, he's not kissing me. Nope. Where we used to live up in Homosassa, there's lots of manatees, or people actually come to see the manatees, but you know, they get a lot of boat strikes from the propellers of boats that like to go out in the freshwater you know, areas. And you can see here there's a picture of one of the manatees that have propeller strikes. It's actually a real big problem, and you know, boaters have to be really careful about their propellers and watching out for manatees. So they do like to say no wake, you know, in certain areas. They put sculptures inside here. They put a couple sculptures inside here. This looks kind of neat. I've never seen fish like this. They have like a little, like, fin on top of their back. They have skeletons on display here. This one's a bottlenose dolphin. See the couple of bones here at the flipper are missing, but for the most part the skeleton is intact. This one over here is a pygmy sperm whale. Actually, I don't know that I can really tell the difference, but of course these are scientists that put these together. They obviously know the difference. This is the goods, the great white shark. This is the jaw, and you can see these rows and rows of teeth. Actually, come a little bit closer. If you look on the inside, let me take you on the inside, you can see, look at those rows of teeth. They just keep coming and coming and coming. Do you see how they just rotate? And so one comes out and another one rotates right in. That's no joke.
The aquarium in Clearwater is really a kind of cool place. It's not as high dollar as, say, some of the other aquariums we've been to, and but it's nice. There's a lot going on here. They take care of animals. They're more about rehabilitating animals to put them back in the wild, or taking care of animals that can no longer live in the wild. And they also had the dolphin here from Dolphin's Tale. So if you get a chance, go out and check that movie, The Dolphin with the Prosthetic Limb. That was here. Dolphin passed away about 4 or 5 years ago. So unfortunately, all that's left is a prosthetic limb, and the rest is probably eaten by crabs by now. So we're going to go over now to grab something to eat in Clearwater Beach and get a little bit of lunch, because Shayna's been making me watch my girlish figure, and I don't get to eat as much. But anyway, we're going to go over to Clearwater Beach, grab an Uber, and join us for some amazing lunch and some amazing views.
Acting up.
Good.
And Clearwater is very, very crowded today. So we took a little Uber from the aquarium over to the beach area, and there's a lot of people here. So we ended up just stopping at this little place to grab lunch, and it's fine. We're gonna get a Philly cheesesteak. Let's see how they do that in Tampa, or here in Clearwater anyway, and some tater tots and stuff. So we're gonna splurge and enjoy ourselves here at lunch and just relax, and it's hot. So that's why we Ubered. We could have walked, but we were being a little lazy and just wanted to stay cool. That's okay. It's, you know, it's a nice Sunday. It's fine. We're just going to do it our way. All right, these things are called boxer balls. And they apparently are like little Reuben fried balls that have sauerkraut inside with Swiss cheese. And I think there's some, some corned beef inside too. And then you dip it into the Thousand Island dressing. Yum. Let's give it a try. They might be a little bit hot, but I'm gonna go for it. Oh my God. Hot, but delicious. Yeah. Yeah, I'm going back for more.
No double dipping.
Oh well. I could eat a lot of those. Yeah. How about triple dipping?
No triple dipping.
Too late. Shut the door. Those are really, really good. It's like the clouds are rolling in a little bit. It's still a beautiful day in Clearwater Beach. So we finished up our day at the Clearwater Aquarium and having a little lunch.
So
awesome. I know. We're here.
We're here. There would be a video without so we're here. Anyway, if you get a chance to come down to the Clearwater Aquarium, do it. It's not as illustrious as some of the other aquariums we went to, but it's still kind of cool. A lot to see, a lot to do. You go into town, grab a lunch. Hey, and if you're from Pennsylvania, like we are, for some reason we keep running into people from our area where we grew up.
Like literally within miles.
miles. So shout out to them if they're watching this video. And if you like what you saw, make sure to like, share, and subscribe, and click that notification bell so you never miss another Kling Connection episode. Follow us on Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, and Rumble, as well as Odyssey, and go to our website, www.klingconnection.com. Go there and subscribe for our newsletter and travel hacks, as well as some discounted items that will help you along with your travels. So until next time, have fun storming the castle.
Bye, guys.
Are you tired of business coaches who promise the moon but deliver, well, nothing? Then it's time to meet Sean Kling. He's not here to tell you what you want to hear. He's here to tell you what you need to hear. With decades of real-world experience under his belt, Sean cuts through the noise and delivers sharp-witted insights that get results. He's built for leaders who are serious about scaling and dominating their industry. Stop settling for sugar-coated advice. It's time for the straight truth that fuels success. Work with Sean Kling. Visit SeanKling.com to book your power call, coaching session, or explore partnership opportunities today. Outwork them all. Outthink, outsmart, outlast.
Welcome to the Kling Connection Travel Talk podcast, where the world of travel comes to life through real conversations. Hosted by Sean Kling, each episode explores the highs and lows of life on the road, connecting with travelers, industry insiders, and digital nomads to uncover expert tips, budget hacks, and inspiring stories. Whether you're a weekend explorer, a full-time adventurer, or simply wanderlust curious, Sean brings first-hand advice, destination insights, and honest takes from those shaping the global travel scene. Join Sean Kling.
Hey everybody, welcome to our exciting adventure on the Kling Connection, our new podcast. And if you've been following us for any amount of time, you can see that we've been traveling the world, traveling across the country, and experiencing all sorts of great stuff. Well, today I got a special treat for you. I have a special YouTuber by the name of Sean on Site. Now, Sean is a world traveler. He's done all sorts of crazy things around the globe, traveling, teaching, working in insurance, you name it. He's been around the globe, and you need to go and check him out on YouTube on Sean on Site. He's also all over social media, and this guy is a hoot. I've worked with Sean a couple times in the past. He is a class act, and he's going to be dumping a bunch of his knowledge on us today about world travel. So welcome to the show, Sean.
Hey, good to be here, Sean.
Oh, it's great. You know, we follow your adventures here at the Kling Connection all the time. We are some of your biggest fans. We like all your videos. I got to see some of the cool stuff when you were in Japan and in Korea, and some of the videos that you've put out. And let me tell you something. We're envious. You are living the life. You are living the life, man. So tell us a little bit about yourself and where you're from, and just tell me a little bit about your background.
All right, man. So I'm originally from a city called Arlington, Texas. It's kind of like right in between Dallas and Fort Worth. I'm pretty sure you know where it is because y'all went to Fort Worth. Born and raised there. Growing up, I've always had like a very interest in a lot of things. I grew up a huge gamer in the cartoons, animation. Like I was one of the few Black people that liked anime, which kind of fueled me wanting to go to Japan. Eventually, at one point in high school, I used to want to be a sports commentator before I realized, oh, wait, you actually have to know sports to do it. So after I did it and failed it, my director at the time, I used to work for like one of the first streaming companies in the nation, I think in the world.
Wow,
Penny Entertainment. It was called Penny Entertainment, and we did like high school sports.
Okay.
And after I did a stint in that doing commentary, my mentor at the time said, hey, why don't you get into like video editing and filming and stuff? You're natural in front of the camera. So I did that, and I just kind of fell in love with it. And from there, I went to college, went to UNT, got my degree in radio, television, and film, and used that to go to Korea to be an English teacher. And then I used my time in Korea to actually try to build up a YouTube and then try to build up myself as a man and just in my professional life. Came back home, tried to get a job in my field of study, hated it, and then went back to Korea and just stayed over there and did some more building independently for a bit, and then I met up with a guy from Brazil on Twitter. He got me an insurance adjuster, and I came back here, and I've been working in that ever since.
Wow, that's cool. So let's rewind a little bit and talk about your gaming, because we do have people that follow us that are gamers, and I'm not so much of a gamer, but I enjoy it, like watching it. I'm go back to when they had Atari, and my brother had a Nintendo. And if my brother's watching this video, he never beat me in GoldenEye. He tried. He was never that good. He cheated once in a while, but my brother Aaron, if you're watching this video, you know that I was the king of GoldenEye. Anyway, tell me a little bit about
Odd Job.
I was terrible at video games. Like, I just didn't know what to do. Even Mario, I couldn't make the jump. It was nuts. But like, so you're into gaming and anime, which is really cool, and that got you influenced to go to Japan. So tell me a little bit about your gaming. Like, what's your game? What's your go-to?
Oh shoot! Right now on my Switch, I'm actually playing Paper Mario, The 1,000-Year Door, and probably one of my top 5 RPGs. I'm a huge Japanese or RPG or role playing game player. I love those, and I'm doing multiple playthroughs of that game because I'm working on that to try to work on my languages. Like the last time I played through it last month, I played it entirely in Korean, and this time I'm playing it entirely in Spanish. But the thing is, though, what's so weird about playing the game right now in Spanish is they use Spain Spanish, and it's not like Latin American Spanish. So I'm just like, I'm having to use the vosotros form of it. I'm just like, wait a minute, hold on, what does this mean? Wait a minute, let's go to the dictionary. Oh crap, let's do all that. But I've been gaming since I was 4 years old. I never forget the first time my parents, they went to a pawn shop. And they bought an NES, and we were all like playing it together. But I just got so hooked on playing Super Mario Brothers, and then they got me a Game Boy, and I was playing Mario and Tetris on that too. A few years later,
Tetris is addicting. I'll be the first. I had to take it off my phone because I would sit there on vacation or a trip and sit there and play Tetris, and before you know it, like 2 hours go by. It's addicting.
You know what's so crazy about it is like I didn't know how serious Tetris was until I played an arcade version of Tetris. They call it like the Grandmaster. And like when the Japanese do Tetris, they do it in such a way that is just intense. Like I didn't know that that you can just have it just go like straight down immediately. They even have like invisible Tetris when you beat it.
Wow.
And some dude was actually clearing it, and I was like, wow, that is so nuts. I can never get that far.
Invisible Tetris. How do you even know what the blocks are? Invisible Tetris, like
well like the moment it lands, it'll show you, but you just have to just know it. I mean, some guys they're just that fast, and I'm just like, oh no, I can't do that. I cannot do that. Though I don't play games as much as I used to. Like, as a matter of fact, I used to try to play fighting games, like competitively. You know, like Street Fighter, Tekken, King of Fighters, Virtua Fighter, and like other niche fighters. But I quit like I'll never forget this. I quit playing fighting games January 20th, 2020. I never forget this. I'm in Korea and I'm playing Tekken 7. And I went 0-9 that night. And 3 of those losses came from a pro that's like internationally very good. And when I saw how he practiced, and I said, well, I came to 2 conclusions. Number 1, I've been playing the game wrong this whole time. And number 2, at my age, I was 34. I was 30. I just turned 34. I just said, I can't do this anymore. I said, I'm done. I'm done. And plus the scene itself is just, it's just I don't like the scene very much. Like, I don't want to get too into it because it's just because of how bad it's gotten. But like, that moment really taught me the importance of gatekeeping. Because you got in some people that's into the gaming scene right now that's just pretty much taking over it. And you're just like, man, who let you guys in? You know, it's like gaming is supposed to be our escape from reality. But these people want to bring like certain type of realities into the scene. I'm just like, no, that's not how it's supposed to be. Y'all got, but it's been overtaken with people like that. So I just said, no, you know what? You guys can have it. I don't want to do this anymore.
I remember seeing something a few years back, League of Legends. They had like some big competition for League of Legends in like Las Vegas. My nephew, my sister's son, is big into gaming, and I don't want to talk about gaming the whole time, but he was big into gaming and he did League of Legends. And he was telling me about this event that they had in Las Vegas. And it was like a global competition for League of Legends. And I think he went. I don't know if he competed, but it was kind of cool. You know, I mean, like I never played League of Legends, but I saw there were thousands of people at this event that he went to.
Yeah, League of Legends is huge in South Korea. My first year there, I was in Busan, and they had like a gaming. There was a gaming event going on there, but I mainly went there to go see the grandmaster of the martial art I used to study at the time. I had a chance to go over there. I actually had a chance to meet up with some of the developers of the game. They were actually some super cool dudes. But League of Legends in South Korea is super, super big. Like they actually have an esports stadium dedicated to League. And my students and coworkers at the time, they all played it, and everything. Like elementary kids, they would play it. And in fact, some of my students would even learn English by playing the game in English. Right, like some of my students, their moms wouldn't let them play video games unless they were playing it in English, and some of them were quite good at it. But yeah, like League is a big deal in South Korea. In fact, you go to if you were to go, like every block has a PC, what they call a PC bong or PC room, and it'd be like $1 an hour, $1 USD an hour. And you can just be in there all day just playing League or whatever online game. Like PC gaming is a very big thing in South Korea.
So that's interesting. And so what we're going to do, we'll jump over to South Korea now, because you just sparked my interest in, you were talking about these gaming rooms and stuff. So you leave Texas and you head to South Korea. Is that your first place overseas that you became a teacher? Tell me how you became a teacher and how you wound up in South Korea. This is interesting.
Okay, so 2010, I graduated university. Couple months later, one of my classmates from university, we both were in the same study. She hits me up. She says, "Hey man, I'm going to go to South Korea to go be an English teacher." And initially, I was not interested at all. I said, I don't want to do that. I want to actually work in video media production, because that's what I went to school for. And but after a while, I realized that everything for video media just wasn't working out. And one day I found a song. I love telling this story. There was a song by a rapper. His name is Lupe Fiasco. There was a song. I don't know how the heck I found the song, but it just showed up on my on YouTube, on my For You page on YouTube one day. And he has a song called Paris Tokyo. Now there's two versions to the song. I heard the remix version of it. And Lupe is always saying something, get your passport. And I wish I could remember this. It's been a while since I actually listened to it. But he kept saying, get your passport, get your passport. But I'll never forget, one day I just listened to that song for just hours on end. I just kind of hypnotized myself. And I said, you know what? I think I'm going to go get my passport. So I remember it was on a Monday. I sent in I processed my application to go get my passport. And I got it that Friday. Because, normally getting a passport takes like weeks. It takes like 6 weeks, right?
It could take
months. I got it that Friday. I said, okay, wow, this is a sign here that I probably should be doing this. And so I do this, and then I'm talking to my friend, and she's telling me, okay, if you want to do the whole career thing, you got to do this. You got to go get a background check. You got to go get your degree apostille. So I go off and I do that in late February 2012. I'm on the flight to South Korea.
Wow.
To be an English teacher. I said, okay, let me try this thing out since I'm not able to get any work here in my field.
So how long? Now you flew out of Texas, I'm assuming, your local airport, because that's where you're from. How long of a flight is that? Is there a connecting flight? Is it a direct flight to Korea? What's the experience like flying from your part of the United States to Korea?
Okay, so from what I recall, every time I flew out from Dallas, I would always go to California. It would either be LAX or SFO. Okay. And the first time I did it, I didn't fly Korea Air. I flew Singapore Airline. There was a connecting flight from Singapore, and then they flew out over to Incheon International Airport, which is like the main airport closer to Seoul. And I was amazed at the great service that they had there. I've never flown a 747. That blew my mind, just about how big and how long it was. But the thing that really kind of blew my mind was like how pretty the air stewardess were. And I was like, wait a minute, they're young, slim, and trim. We don't get this here in America. What the heck? Man, because
You're right. You hit the nail on the head. I mean, you might get the one off, and this is no offense to this airline people that watch this, but you guys know where we're going with this.
Yeah, because I'm and this is when I got a first notice of, okay, in America you can't sexism is more or less illegal or
Right.
it's very frowned upon, but in Asia they don't care. They don't care at all. In fact, in Asia and like Eastern European airlines, just everywhere else around the world, they just don't care. It's like, look, you got to be young, slim, and trim to be an air stewardess. But what I liked about doing it was, it's like I learned. This is when I first learned about having charm and using it, because it's like I was always too afraid to do so. But I did like a week in a smile. And I said, hey, can I have a, since there's nobody really on this flight, can I sit in an exit row so I can stretch out my legs? She said, okay, all right, I'll help you out with that. So I did that, and I had a great 11-hour, I think it was 11 hours total.
11 hours. Oh.
Yeah. But I had enough entertainment. I was served good food, and I was just living in the moment the first time I did it.
So you land in Korea. Beautiful country from what everybody says. It's gorgeous. The mountain ranges and stuff like that. I've never been to Korea. The closest my family came to Korea is my step-grandfather was there during the war in the 50s. Obviously not the same as it is now. So you land in Korea, you get this teaching job. Okay. So now you're going to teach kids. What's it like teaching Korean students versus American students? I mean, I'm not assuming that you probably haven't had much education teaching American students, but what's the difference? Like, what do you think?
Oh, actually, I do. Yeah, it's funny. It's funny, Brenda, because I actually did teach here in Arlington at a high school and junior high before I taught in Korea. But my first 5 months over there, they sucked. I'm not gonna lie to you, they sucked. But it sucked though, because of the fact that I didn't teach at a traditional school. You got like 3 types of schools that you can really 4 types. I think it was let me see. So what I taught at first was called a Hagwon, which is a private academy, basically. And then of course you got your traditional schools. Then you got your international schools. And then you got where I went to after the Hagwon, English Village. And English Village is more like an English camp, if you will. Okay. It's a camp. But when I taught at the Hagwon is basically like English immersion, where the kids are not allowed to speak Korean, and we as teachers are not allowed to speak Korean to the students. Like the kids have to kind of immerse themselves in it, and a lot of those kids don't want to be there. Like they're forced to be there by their parents, and this is what made me so happy to be an American, right? Whereas like ever since the 80s, and you see this all throughout East Asia, mainly in Japan and South Korea, where the boomers were all like, oh, the kids have too much free time. We want them to constantly go to school. So what they would do is that they would go to their traditional school Monday through Friday, and then they would have to like do some kind of after school activity, after school Hagwon, where you got like a music Hagwon, an English Hagwon, a math one, and some of these poor kids wouldn't get out of school until like 10 o'clock.
Wow.
At night. But it used to be worse in the 90s, where they wouldn't get out until 1 o'clock in the morning.
Wow.
And I hated it, and I hated it for that reason, and I also hated it because of how much pressure was put on us. Like when you work at a Hagwon, you get what I call George Jetson job security. Oh. Like you know how George was always threatened to get fired by Mr. Spacely? Yep. It was kind of like that, because you would keep your job based on if the students liked you or if the parents liked you, and if they didn't like you, you were gone.
And it's a very conservative culture over there too, isn't it? To some extent.
On the surface, it is, but underground is not.
So speaking of underground, so now you're teaching during the day, and now Sean is on site in Korea. So this is what I want to hear about. What is the nightlife like in Korea? What is? I want to hear it all. I want to know what you've experienced, some of the craziest stuff that ever happened to you, the food, the best places. What do you got? What do you got in Korea?
Okay, and you just helped me to remember that I actually do have a guide that I have. It's a free guide, or people can like they can pay their own price for it. I go over a lot of that. But the nightlife, it depends on where you go. So if you're like in your early 20s or whatever, late teens, early 20s, you want to go to Hongdae, right? That's where like a lot of good clubs are at over there. If you want to hang out with more foreigners, you go to Itaewon, but that's changing now because the military base is gone. Like all the people from Turkey more or less have like set up shop over there. But if you want to be like bad and bougie or whatever, if you got some money, you go to Gangnam. Like you remember that song Gangnam Style?
Yeah. Whatever happened to that guy?
Sorry. He's still around. He's still around. In fact, he was around for like a decade before he became internationally known because of that song. He's been around for a good while. But what a lot of people don't know about Gangnam Style was that song was actually a diss on the people of Gangnam because in the whole area itself, because Gangnam is like the Beverly Hills of South Korea.
Oh, okay.
It's very
I know that.
Very,
all the rich people live, like the affluent people, and okay.
Mm-hmm.
I was today years old when I learned that. Okay.
yeah, but if you want good food, oh shoot, I say go to like the smaller areas because you have like a lot of people that have owned restaurants since like the 70s and 80s, and they're still managing them to this day, and they kind of cook the food the old style, which is amazing. Now, but the thing what a lot of people don't know about South Korea is that it's a very culture about everyone being together. And considering that they had to like recover from the war especially after being occupied by Japan for like 45 years, or 35. I can't remember. I think it was 1910 and 1945. So yeah, 35 years. They kind of had to like rebuild themselves, and with their last dictatorship, the last dictator of the country before they became a democracy really built that country up. He went through some extreme measures to make sure companies like Hyundai, Samsung, and the like can really build up from there. And they became a powerhouse in the 80s, much like Japan was. But when you go over there, you're going to see like a lot of old people still working, serving up certain foods and stuff. Like a good delicacy, bibimbap. That's my favorite. It's like rice, carrots, a couple of vegetables, some meat in there, sunny side up egg, and some hot spicy sauce like called gochujang. You mix that all up together.
Off of like streetcars vendors, or do you go into a restaurant? Or
you go into a restaurant for that. For street vendors, you get like a lot of fried foods and stuff like fried shrimp, fried vegetables. You get like meat skewers, either like mild spice or like super spicy. That stuff gets you.
I can't do the spicy, man. Like, well, Shayna goes out and she buys me spicy food, and I'm up all night. So that's all you.
But throughout my time up there, my first year there were a lot of street vendors. But then whenever they had their female president, Gunhye, I forgot her family name. Park Gunhye. It's like she had some goons go out there, like literally destroy those.
Wow.
And stuff. And so you don't really, so it's like you used to see street vendors all around Gangnam, but now all gone.
Is it safe?
Oh, it's very safe.
Very safe. Because a lot of times you see things on TV that, most people are never going to travel to Korea like you have. They're going to watch it on TV and assume how it is. And they see these things on TV where like an American's walking down the street and he's getting jumped by a Korean street gang or something like that. And I tend to think these things are over-exaggerated for entertainment value. I mean, you're going to run into a bad city no matter where you go. That's going to happen. There's going to be bad areas. But you think Korea was pretty safe where you were at?
Man, it's probably one of the safest places I've ever been to.
Wow.
The only time it is not safe is if you, of course, they got sketchy areas. But last I heard, they're actually demolishing that area. It's in Itaewon. So Itaewon was infamous for having 4 types of hill: Hooker Hill, Homo Hill, Tranny Hill, and right next to it, because I think the Korean government they played a nasty trick on them, Islam Hill.
So I know the hill that I would be at, not the other 3.
Well, and I found it hilarious that they put Islam Hill or Muslim Hill next to the other 3 hills. That'd be haram for them. That's hilarious. But I actually walked through. I actually did walk through all three of the hills. I only walked through Homo Hill once, but that's because I was with some visiting friends. They actually found my live streams and they say, "Hey, we want to meet up," so we go over there. And I'll never forget this. We walked to the moment we stepped foot in the Homo Hill. There was a guy that owned a bar. He was like, "Hey, how you doing? Come on into my shop." And so we all go up in there and everything. We actually had a lot of fun. It was a husband and wife duo that went up. She wanted to go up there and like check it all out and stuff. And the only thing I hated about it though was that the owner kept trying to hit on me. He said, "You a big hunk of chocolate." I said, "Man, get your." I said, "Nope. I'm flattered, but nope." We have to switch seats and stuff like that. But what's so hilarious though is that the fact that he's out in the open with that is like being gay in South Korea is kind of metaphorically a death sentence, because it's like people aren't going to want to deal with you if you're gay out in the open like that. It is just like you cannot be gay. You have to really keep it on the down low. And what's messed up is that the bar owner told me that he knew a lot of Korean celebrities that were gay on the down low. It's like it would kill their career if it ever came out that they were.
So what is the drink of choice? I mean, alcohol out there in Korea, is it stronger than the United States?
From what I'm told, yes. From what I'm told, yes. I don't drink alcohol, but I do. But there's a drinking culture. It's kind of similar to the Irish. Like the drink of choice is soju.
Okay.
Which is basically like rice. It's like, I think it's fermented rice wine or something. I can't remember, but it's a very powerful drink. Like a soju bottle is about as big as this. No, actually, no. It's about as big as this bottle of lotion.
Oh wow!
And this one bottle can mess you up.
Wow. So I want to know. I'm in suspense because I know we're going to get to some of these other countries. Craziest story, Korea. Let's hear it. If it's rated X, we don't want to hear it. But if it's PG-13 or rated R, we're good.
Oh man. Okay. So where to begin? Okay. I'm trying to think because there were a few crazy things that did happen. You will see this a lot. You'll see couples fighting all the time, either verbally fighting or either physically fighting. At one point, I'm just like, "Oh snaps, man!" First time I saw it, I was like, "Hey, someone gonna help them out." And Florida said, "Nope, don't get involved, because if you do, he might whoop your ass, and then when the police come, you'll get arrested because she'll say he beat up my boyfriend or whatever." But there was the one time that I almost did go to jail because of this, because it was something different. So there was an event called Mud Fest, where you're like in synthetic mud, like the spawn mud or whatever, stuff, doing stuff like that out on the beach, having fun. It's a fun time. Me and some friends, we were on our way back home from Mud Fest, and we were riding a train. We got the really cheap seats, so we're sitting on all the floors, like me and a group of other foreigners, and like about one or two Koreans were on the floor. We're like in the snack train, if you will. So anyway, there was an old Korean guy up there. He was drunk as hell. And he saw all of us foreigners. He said he just wanted to just mess with us. Sorry. He wanted to mess with us. And so, and so my homeboy at the time, he was over there kind of like being calm and steady with him, just sternly talking to him. And he sees me, the old Korean dude, he sees me. He decided to mess with me too. And I just ignore him. And that made him mad. And so he decided to kick me. And I was like, "All right, that's it. I'm about to whoop you. I'm about to whoop you behind." And all my foreign friends are like, hold me back or whatever. Like, no, don't do it. Don't do it. And to the surprise of everyone on the train, like this young Korean woman that worked the booth, she told that guy off and everything. And in Korea, that's a big no-no for young people to tell old people, because they go off a thing called Confucianism, where old people are right, no matter the man is right, and old people are right, even if we're wrong, no matter what. Okay. And he was like, and the old man was like, and he just kind of just stirred it all off. And because I was this close to actually like whooping his behind. Like usually I'm calling him cool, but when you touch me like that and you kick me habitually, then it's like, all right, man, let's go, put them dukes up.
You're not wanting to go to a Korean jail anyway.
No, you. Oh man, a guy I worked with actually did go to Korean jail. He's Korean American. He had weed in his apartment, and he got raided, and it was on the news too. Wow. And when he went up there, he's like, they put him in jail with the other foreigners. And it's like, and so a lot of people don't know this, but a lot of Russian and like Hong Kong mafia live over there, like the Russian mafia, the triads. a lot of them are in jail for drug smuggling.
Wow.
And he was put in jail with the triads, and they were trying to use him to smuggle drugs into the country.
Wow. So how long are you in Korea for then? When this is going on, a year, a few months?
Back and forth. I was there for about 8 years, back and forth.
Okay.
But all of that was within my first year. Back to my first time, I was there for like a year and a half. I was up there for longer because when I went from the Hagwon over to English Village, I had to extend my stay because when you go over there, you're signing a year contract.
Okay. So then you leave Korea. Where do you go?
So the first time, this is in late 2013, I come back here to Texas and I'm trying to get a job, trying to actually do my video media stuff serious. I met up with a guy on LinkedIn who used to work for Sega. Oh boy, thinking about this guy. I'm trying to keep cool because it's just been a long time. I'm not as mad at it, but it was a good lesson for me to learn. He kind of gassed up the fact that he worked for Sega and he was doing this and the third. And we kind of agreed to meet up with each other. New Year's Day has come. I fly out to San Francisco. I'm over there for the first time. And I keep calling his jumps like, hey, man, let's meet up. All right, man, we're going to meet up. We're going to do something. But the whole entire day I was there, nothing came of it. So I left the very next day and came back home. And then this blankety blank decides to call me up. And he says, hey, man, stuff happened. I'm sorry. And I said, dude, no excuse. And I just cut him off immediately right there. And that made me have a kind of deep-seated hatred for a lot of for certain people. So after that, I filmed a documentary on my grandparents who were involved in the civil rights movement. Like I found out that my grandpa was actually responsible. That my family was responsible for Dr. King being in Memphis in 1968.
I remember you and I having that conversation before. That's like a pretty big thing, man. That's like something to be proud of.
It is. I mean, it is. But just looking at the history and all the things involved, it was cool. I made the documentary. Then I moved to West Texas, to Abilene, to
the desert.
Out into the desert to try to work in television, try to really work as an editor because that's always what I wanted to do. But they had me over there working as a production assistant, making $7.15 an hour. And I had to work 2 other jobs just to be able to pay off my student loan, car note, and rent. Yeah. Because I told them straight up, I said, dude, I got a freaking degree here. Let me go over here and work in the back as an editor because I can do this stuff. I've done this in Korea. I worked with like these big stations over there doing this stuff. And said, we just must keep you right over here. We need you here. And I said, you know what? I'm done with this. Because I worked 16-hour days for my 3 jobs for 8 months. And I said, and making the same amount of money that I'm making in Korea. And I said, man, forget this. I'm done. So I leave there in 2015, go back to stay in my parents' house for a little bit. And then I say, I'm going back to Korea. I go back to Korea and I stay there for a much longer time. Worked at a much better school. But this time I was able to explore more and I took the YouTube stuff a bit more serious, like doing street interviews. Like I was doing street interviews before it became popular.
Yeah, I've seen some of your videos of street interviews. You're really good. I mean, I know I saw one that you sent me a while ago that you were in San Antonio walking around interviewing some different people, just asking questions. It was really good, the video. You definitely have a knack for interviewing people and being on the camera and tell me a little bit about your YouTube channel. Let's get into that. Tell us a little bit about your YouTube channel. What's it about? Where can people find you?
So people can find me as Sean on site. It took me a good while to really find my groove with it. Like I kept experimenting because I thought at the time I used to think, if I just upload videos and go viral, maybe something will happen. I did eventually go viral. The very first time I went viral was in 2016. I interviewed Koreans, and I asked them to react to an episode of Family Guy when they talked about Korea. I thought, that was so cool. and then, but the mentality I had at the time it wasn't, wait a minute, maybe I should start doing this. But my mindset was, okay, now I got an audience. I'm starting to get an audience. Let me do things I really want to do. But I see now that's not the case. But nowadays, what I do is based on the idea you gave me when we last talked to each other, I just travel and I'll talk to people. And you introduced me to Peter. I forgot his last name. I saw his style. I said, hey, I like this, and I think this is something I can keep really doing with this. But but I realized that it would be better for me to like really start. I upload the long form content on YouTube, but then I do short form on like TikTok and Instagram because I can get more people that way. And there was a guy that I met up with that I found who also does stuff like that. But he used to be an editor for like a major YouTube channel. I gotta look for that. Let me look for it. But he has this thing. He created a system that actually worked out for him to where he can get guaranteed 1 million views an upload.
Wow.
And stuff.
Make sure it's not those bots though, because if you get those bots, man, like we had that with our team. We had an Instagram page that we actually had to abandon. It wasn't YouTube, so we woke up one morning and there was something like 13,000 subscribers. And I called the team and I said, hey, wow, we got 13,000 subscribers in one day. And the team was all excited. And next thing we know, we found out these were all bots and it wound up flagging the channel. And we couldn't get any interaction on the Instagram. That's the one thing that fears me with like a lot of these guys that say they can get millions of views. I don't know how they do it. It's maybe they have a secret formula you and I don't know about though,
Well, it's just what I've come to understand is that sometimes Instagram would just pick and choose people, but they do pick and choose people that are consistent, and that are pretty consistent. And they have something that a lot of people like. Wait a minute, what am I doing? Let me try this instead. But I actually took out some of the methods that he used to go viral, and he actually personally hit me up and said, "Yeah, man, I noticed you're starting to do some of the things that I do in my videos. All right, man, you're getting the system down, you're getting it working out. But if you work with me, man, I can help you get to the next level." And I was like, I'm willing to do so. I just want to get to the point to where I have enough time to where I can do it. And then we can work things out. Because I actually do trust him. He actually has reached out to me a number of times. But taking some of his methods actually did work out for me. Like I did a video. You probably saw it. It was me at the Japan Super Bowl.
Yes.
The Rice Bowl.
I did see that video. Yes.
And
that was a funny video. That was cool though.
It was fun. It was fun, very fun hanging out with football fans in Japan. Mm-hmm. And but there was one interview I did. I think you remember recall the lady in red.
Yes.
So her husband was playing in that game, and but I asked her to say, "Hey, who's your NFL player?" And she said, "Cam Chancellor." So I put that portion of the interview on Instagram and on TikTok, and it went viral on both. Like right now on Instagram, it's like at 2.1 million views.
Wow.
And she got a lot of love because like, oh my gosh, everybody keeps saying she know ball. And that interview was so popular that the Seattle Seahawks themselves saw it. They took that interview and they put it on their page. And they said, hey, this is a Cam Chancellor edit. I was like, yes, I made it. And she made it too.
I'll tell you what we found on the Kling Connection and with our other channels that we have too, is that YouTube was okay, but it's a saturated market and it's very tough to compete and people give up quick. I mean, we put out videos we thought were really good that got hardly any views, and then we put out other videos that were garbage that I wouldn't say garbage, but weren't to the quality that you get thousands and thousands of views. So what we've been doing is actually we've been going on to two sites that actually been treating us really well, and the monetization's easier to get. One of them's called Odyssey, and the other is called Rumble. And Rumble, like we'll put a video, let's just say on YouTube. And we have, as of the time of this recording, I think 57,000 followers on our YouTube page. And we'll put a video on YouTube and we'll get nothing for weeks. But we put it on Rumble and we hardly have any subscribers. We have enough to get monetized, but not hundreds of thousands or anything. And that video will get 20 times the views the one on YouTube gets. So I think as time moves forward with creators like you and I and other people, with the YouTube market being so saturated, you're going to have to try to target in on separate platforms, whether that's TikTok or Rumble, or if you're older, Facebook. We actually get a really good following on Facebook, which I wasn't on Facebook for years, and they made me get back on Facebook. The team made me get back on Facebook about 2 months ago, and I'm not a Facebook guy, but yeah, so we found that Odyssey and Rumble were a good fit for us more than even YouTube. And But we did have some viral ones go. It was crazy. Just, there's no rhyme or reason why they go viral.
What I've come to understand is like this, the attention span of people have the attention span of a goldfish. And so like the short form stuff kind of works out well, and it can lead to people going to either your YouTube or Rumble or Odyssey. And and I found this guy, by the way. But yeah, it's like what I've noticed is like Instagram. What I noticed with Instagram, they'll push sex a lot on there, or at least anything dealing with women, like
like
or
working out, tight clothes, that type of stuff. Yeah, younger women.
Yeah, but this dude, his most viral reel is him in China, and he was basically talking to a dude, asking about, oh hey, will I go to the police for this or whatever? Will you call the police on him? He was actually calling the police on him in Chinese for making some kind of video. And I was like, that is fascinating. But then he has other ones where he's like getting a massage, but it wasn't like one of those spicy ones. It was just a real massage from a lady. He was and videos like that tend to do very well. It's like as long as the dude is like muscular and handsome, and he's getting massage like a massage from like a Japanese lady or whatever, and they're just having a good conversation.
So a video with me getting a massage definitely would. We're out. So you won't be seeing any Sean getting any Japanese massage on the Kling Connection. I'm sorry, everybody.
But you might see Sean getting a Japanese massage.
So outside of Korea, where else have you been in the world?
So I've been to Japan. I've also in Asia. I've only mainly just been to Asia, Japan and Taiwan, the real China. I'm saying the real China.
So tell me a little bit about Taiwan then. Like, this is cool because I've met people who've been to Japan, Korea. You're actually the first person I've ever met that has been to Taiwan. The real China, you call it. So what's it like? What's Taiwan like?
Oh, Taiwan is beautiful. It was so. I mean, it's like I only went there because for two reasons. No, it was a visa run from South Korea. Because as an American, you can only stay in there on a tourist visa for 90 days. They were in Japan. I went there for a visa run. Actually 3 years. I also went there because my ex at the time had suggested it to me. And number 3, we have a real Taiwan restaurant in my hometown. And the owners over there, I'm really cool with them. They suggested that I go. In fact, one of the former owners, she had gave me her number. She said, "Hey, if you ever go to Taipei, call me and let me know, and I'll introduce you to my sisters or whatever." And so I was like, "Oh, cool." Unfortunately, I didn't get a chance to do so, but I did get a chance to go over there and experience it. And the one thing I noticed about Taiwan, outside of it being extremely humid in the summer, was basketball is king there.
NBA?
Yeah.
Everybody's
oh my God.
fan?
Everything. In fact, when I got off the plane, the national Taiwanese team got off at the same time I did. And there was a black guy. His name was Quincy. He was taller than me. Like, I'm 6'2". He's like 6'7", 6'8". and I took a picture with him. And Quincy, he was a cool dude. It was cool to talk to him. But I went over there, and some Taiwanese friends that I met in Japan, that I worked with in Japan, which is an interesting story, and I'll get to that in a moment. The boyfriend worked at a hostel, and they all got me in there, and we all got settled. And I toured with them twice. We went to the night markets. Like, that's a thing in Taiwan, the night markets. That's where you want to go. You can find so much either good food, amusement stuff, bootleg clothes or whatever. You're walking around, you're just having a great time. I did that with them. And then I also did like daytime markets and stuff with my friend at the time. His name is CJ Ride, who became very infamous in the country for a number of things. Like, namely, he got in trouble twice there, and he got blackballed. He got blacklisted for a good while. When I got blacklisted on Twitch as well too for something dumb. We both got blacklisted, but we became friends at that moment, and we just kind of got to know each other. And he had really helped me out. I helped him out, and he helped me to explore some things about Taiwan and to get to know the people. Like, people over there, when they say when you meet with Taiwanese people, they say, "Hey, welcome to Taiwan, Taiwan number one." And you're like, "Yeah, that's how you become friends with someone, Taiwan number one."
So, is there like cool things to see over there? What's to do in Taiwan? Like outside of basketball and going to the city. I mean, did you experience anything like? Is there beaches there? Is there a night?
I didn't get a chance to really explore the beaches because Taipei's like kind of in the middle, and the beaches were far, so I was only there for like a short period of time.
Oh, okay.
But I did go, but I just so happened to actually go up there. To actually went to a spicy event called the a TAE, Taiwan Adult Expo, but I only went up there because someone that I met up with previously was also over there. Her and her manager, she was a former adult star in Japan, but she was over there. I didn't get a chance to see her, but I did get a chance to go to the TAE, and it was actually pretty amazing because I was the only other black guy there. I was probably the only American there, and the second black guy. And this is, and I don't want to bring too much red pill into this, but there's a term called hypergamy.
Yes.
And it was, and I used it accidentally. So over there in Taiwan, like the spicy stars, they don't call them that; they call them showgirls.
Uh-huh.
And I don't know what quite the standards are with regards to adult content there, but I do. But there was a girl. There were like two girls where they were showgirls, and they were guests, and I didn't know it. And so I'm walking by. There's one girl. She's like, hey, tall guy, come over here. You're handsome. Let me take a picture. You're tall and handsome. Let me take a picture with you. I said, okay. So we take a picture and everything. I'm like, when I'm with short girls, I'm always like putting my arm over their heads and stuff. Say, hey, look how short she is or whatever. But then she went like this to me, and I was like, oh, okay, cool. And we take this picture, and I learned about her hypergamy at this very moment. As we were taking the pictures, a fan of hers who had like bought all of her stuff, right? He had like a lot of her merchandise. He wanted to take the picture. He's like, no, you got to pay. I'm gonna take a picture with him because I like him. You got to pay. And I was like, God damn, that is cold blooded.
That happened to me one time. I was with my cousin, and we went out to dinner. And when I lived in Pennsylvania, because that's where I'm originally from, and my cousin says, "Come on, let's go out to dinner." We went to this hoity-toity place, totally not my scene. And my cousin, who was younger, told the lady that was a waitress that my name was Andrew Gardner, who was a offensive guard for the Philadelphia Eagles at the time, and he looked exactly like me. And she went in and told all these people at the bar, hey, there's a Philadelphia Eagle sitting at the table. So people were coming out, like sticking their head around the corner, like trying to take pictures of me with their cell phone. And I said to him, my cousin, Tim, we got to pay for this. And they're going to see my credit card that my name's not Andrew Gardner. And he's like, I got cash. And we snuck out the back door. But then for years, people were like, hey, Andrew Gardner for the Philadelphia Eagles ate at this restaurant. I'm like, no, that was me.
That is wild.
I had to every waitress in the place hitting on me. It was crazy. It was crazy. So Japan, this is an interesting one. You were in Japan. Now, my grandfather was in Japan during the Second World War. And, he's been gone for years. But I've met people that have traveled to Japan, and Japan's become really a hotspot for foreign tourism. A lot of Europeans and Americans stuff. I'm really interested. You started to tell a story about Japan and about somebody you met over there. I'm really interested in Japan.
Oh, okay. So Japan, the very first time I went there was actually when I worked at the school. I went to Osaka, but I had to go get had to get my visa to work in Korea. You have to leave the country to go get it, do it there, whatever. Osaka was cool. I was there for a day, but the second time I went to Japan, it was back to Osaka. I went there for a pro wrestling show. Like, I used to be huge into pro wrestling at the time. And
favorite wrestler?
I'm sorry.
Who's your favorite wrestler?
Oh, Booker T.
Booker T.
Can you dig it, sucker? Bob done. I love Booker T growing up.
Hey, right down by where I live, literally a couple miles is Hulk Hogan and Ric Flair. And Hulk Hogan actually rescued a woman that got in a car accident on the highway by us. The car flipped up over on its roof, and I guess he was in the car behind it with a friend of his, and the woman was upside down, and Hogan actually walked over and looked in the window and tried to help the person. Imagine hanging there upside down in your car in a car accident. You all right there, brother? You know?
Dude, that is so wild to hear. You know, this younger generation, they hate Hulk Hogan. They hate him.
He was the man back in the day, Hulk Hogan.
Yeah, he was the man back in the day. But when people are now looking at his history and everything, how he held other wrestlers back, they hate him for that. But they also hate him because there was like a leaked message of him saying the N word, like a hard R, with his daughter. But yeah, I'm just saying, you know, I don't really care about all that. That doesn't bother me. It's Hulk Hogan, man. You know. But I would feel more that way towards Ric Flair. But that's another story. So I'm in Japan. I watched a Japanese wrestling event for the first time over there, and there was a lady who she now wrestles in the WWE. Now her name is in the WWE she's Asuka, but in Japan she went by her real name Kana, and she was the reason why I went there to go see her because I was like, oh man, I see Kana all the time, and she was wrecking people's heads. She's cool. And I go over there to a party. I paid for the after party. I think it was like $30 at the time. And we were all up there having fun, getting drunk with Osaka and Japanese people, and learning Japanese words. I'm teaching them bad English words, and we're just having fun. But my main inspiration for Japan was there was a Black American actor that lives in Tokyo right now. His name is Dante Carver. And I'll never forget seeing him in 2009, where he was acting over there, and he still is acting over there to this day. And he was like the most successful foreign actor over there of all time in these commercials for this phone service called SoftBank, which is like Japan's AT&T. Okay. And he's known as the Yozu guy, which is like unexpected guy, because he's in a Japanese family. He has a Japanese mother, Japanese sister, and the dad is Japanese too, but he's a dog. Okay. A talking dog, yeah. And Dante plays like the son. He's a black guy. He's like, wait a minute. He's like the unexpected guy. What is this? But they've been doing those commercials since I think 2007. And Dante's story inspired me. He said he did 121 auditions and he failed them all. But then on audition 122, he got it by accident, by just kind of, in his own words, goofing around. And he's been doing those commercials and movies ever since. In fact, he's even good friends with there's a very famous game series called Metal Gear Solid. And
Metal Gear Solid. I'm familiar with it, yeah.
And he's good friends with the creator, Hideo Kojima. They're like boys. And Hideo's even put him in Metal Gear 5 and stuff, which is so cool. But seeing Dante, and I was being inspired by him, and I see him as a big brother. And I last saw him in 2019. But it's like he kind of really inspired me to like kind of really put myself out there and do a bit more, and not really let the yang of other people say, oh, you can't do this because you're black or whatever. Get to it. You know, he was kind of like my inspiration for really traveling and really going out there and doing stuff.
So Japan, I heard, is really clean.
Yes.
It's like immaculately clean, like almost like Canada used to be years ago.
Yeah, there are no trash bins though in Japan. So you gotta like you have to go to a kombini or convenience store to go throw your stuff away and everything. But no, it is very clean. Nobody spits. Like in Korea they do that, but nobody in Japan, you won't see people doing that. It is always very clean. It's like I remember the last 2 times I went, when I worked overnight, I would go out to go eat lunch at 2:00 in the morning, and you would see the people like the streets is getting cleaned by like all the trash guys and stuff. So it is super clean. They pride themselves on being clean.
So were you ever on the bullet train or go to Mount Fuji?
No. And Mount Fuji, I really don't want to climb Mount Fuji. It would take 8 hours to go up, 8 hours to go down. I really don't want to do that.
Yeah, I seen that documentary on the bullet trains that they have over there, which is pretty impressive. That's the one thing, you know, I love the United States and there's a lot to offer, but you see train travel in Japan, you see train travel in Europe, and it is far superior to ours. I mean, I maybe it's because their countries are smaller than ours. I mean, you know, you're in Texas, I'm in Florida, we're both Americans, but you know, it would take me a day's travel by airplane just to get to you, you know, so maybe it's the infrastructure of it all, but I always was fascinated. You know? The lobbyists, right. I was always fascinated by the train stuff. Matter of fact, Shane and I are talking about taking a train trip. There's a very famous one that goes from Colorado to Utah through the mountains and stuff. Sounds really cool. I like trains. I'm a train geek. What can I say?
Oh, you'll love the bullet train. In fact, I wrote it once by accident.
This I gotta hear. How do you ride a train by accident?
I didn't, well, because I can't, well, at the time I couldn't read, well, I still can't read Japanese, but I thought I was taking a train going, like a regular train, like a subway train, going into it, but I accidentally took the Shinkansen. I can't pronounce it right. It was like the famous bullet train on there to go into Tokyo. I think I went to Tokyo Station by accident, but it's like I had the wrong ticket. I didn't know what I was doing, and I can get away. You can get away with this. You can play the ignorant form. It's like, I didn't know. I'm sorry, I can't read this. I can't read this, and everything. You know, and you know, it depending on the mood of the person, they'll understand. It's like, hey, this is your first time doing this. It's all good. You know, you can play that. You can do that too. Yeah. I mean, I wouldn't suggest doing it often, but you can from time to time. But I run. I said, wow, this is nice and this is fast. Like, holy crap, this is really fast.
So most recently, you were in Canada. Your work took you to Canada for the big fires that they had.
No. I went up there for. I was in Calgary for a big hail. I mean, I tried to go up there for the fires, but they weren't having me. Okay. But this is my second time in Canada ever. But this is my first time ever in Calgary.
Okay.
And I was up there because Calgary got hit with a massive hailstorm over there. Like, these houses got wrecked, and a lot of them were new houses too. It's like,
for our fans that are listening, Sean doesn't always just do education and video. He's also works in the insurance industry. So if he's saying he was up there helping out with a hailstorm, that means he was helping property owners with insurance damages.
But when I was up there in Calgary, you know, I heard a lot of people complain about how Canada is right now, because there were like a lot of immigrants living over there, and I didn't really know how true it was until I went up there, because a good 95% of the people I had were either from India or Pakistan, and I was like, wow, I got so many people. It's like I think I had only like maybe 2 white people.
Wow.
3 white people total. Out of the 45 claims I had only 3 white people total there. But I was like I guess I was also in a very diverse area too, because the Airbnb people I stayed with, they were Chinese in Hong Kong. I mean, they were nice. You know, eating Chinese food and then introducing them to Texas Southern delicacies. That was so cool, man. I'll never forget. I made this fried cabbage recipe my dad taught me. It was like fried cabbage with some spices, onions, and sausage. They ate that whole thing up that day. It was like, I made a giant pot and they ate it all up. And they said, this is the best stuff we've ever had.
So Calgary, they're known for that Calgary Stampede, that big drive that they do. I know people that have been there. I've never been there, but I heard it's really cool.
Man, I showed up there a week after it ended. But one of my friends, she's actually a wrestler for AEW, and she went up there for a Stampede, and she said it was just like rodeos basically, and it looked fun. But I did actually go to like an overlook of where they had where the Calgary Stampede, the football team, the Canadian football team actually plays at.
Yeah, that's right. They have the CFL teams up there too. Yeah.
Yeah, and I got a picture. I got to give it to you, but it was just a sight to see that, and I would have loved to have been able to be a part of Stampede, because it looks just like the rodeos they have down here in San Antonio and Houston or whatever. And I'm just like, man, this is like we got like that whole rodeo Southern thing, but in Canada.
So Sean's been around the world. If I have to ask, what by far of all the countries that you've been to, you know, in your travels for work or leisure or whatever, what's your favorite?
Man, I hate this question because it's too fun with all the travels I've done. If I were to live anywhere, I would live in South Korea, mainly. But I would have to live outside of Seoul, like out in the countryside, because I enjoyed it. But if I had to live in Japan, I would live in Fukuoka. That's my favorite city in all of Japan, Fukuoka. It's like in the southern tip of the country, and the people there are so much nicer than they are in Tokyo. But Osaka, though, I have a special place in my heart for that, because it's like the people are like Texans, in a sense.
So if you had to choose one country to go to that you haven't visited, what perks your interest, what country? Maybe give me two countries. Where would you like to go?
Oh, right now? Oh, they're both in South America. One is Peru.
Okay. Machu Picchu.
And the other is Argentina.
Okay. Argentina. I've heard
people
become a big travel country.
People say that Argentinians are racist, but I'm just like, I don't care. I want to just see Argentina. I want to see it. I mean, of course, I can always go to Brazil, but everyone goes to Brazil. But I want to go to the places where people don't go. People always go to either Colombia or Brazil when they go to South America.
Yeah, Shane and I have been talking about going to New Zealand and Australia. I'm a big Lord of the Rings dork. That's me, and I want to go see where all the films are made, go to Hobbiton. And she has friends that she knew for years. A guy worked for a train company when she lived in Pennsylvania and was from New Zealand there on a work visa in Pennsylvania, and then he went back to New Zealand, and they've offered us to stay with him. So really looking forward to New Zealand, Australia. That would be
Kiwis are cool. I worked with a whole bunch of Australians and New Zealanders, and I learned the haka from them. That was fun.
Oh, the haka, the team that's out there, the rugby team and stuff.
But I love it. That is so cool. But yeah, I worked with a whole bunch of Kiwis as teachers, and they were just some of the nicest people up there. In fact, one Kiwi I worked with, young kid, and he was a huge basketball head too, and but he also did taekwondo. He could fight too. He was sport from time to time, but he was a cool person. But yeah, I would like to go to Australia one of these days. I'd like to go to New Zealand one of these days. And of course, in the motherland of Africa, I really want to go to South Africa one day. I want to go to Botswana next. I also want to visit Kenya and Ghana as well. And in fact, I think there's even a Spanish-speaking colony in West Africa.
I didn't know that. Really?
No, yeah. Who was that name of that YouTuber? He's a Spanish, Luisto Comunica. He went over there, and he said there was like a Spanish-speaking colony in Africa, and I thought that was neat.
Wow. So if for our fans, as we wrap up, I mean, Sean, you and I have talked for hours before. I mean, and we're definitely going to get you back on the show, and we're going to do some stuff together because your experience in life. I'm honestly, I'm not just saying this. I am a fan of your show. I'm a fan of what you put out. I'm a fan of you motivate me, and you motivate a lot of people around you, and you should be proud of the work that you do. But if people want to find you, if people want to see what's next in store for Sean on Site, where can we find you? And what do you have coming out in the future if you want to share it?
Okay, well, you can find me on YouTube, Sean on Site, SHAUN. You see right there. On Instagram is Sean on Site altogether, but the number 85. I'm pretty active on Instagram. The next thing, I'm looking at actually going into doing domestic travel. I'm actually going to look at going into St. Louis. I've never been there before. It's going to be work related for insurance, but I'm going to try to do what I can to try to get involved in a few things regarding St. Louis and see what it's all about. See what that Missouri barbecue is like.
Yeah, it's amazing.
Internationally, I'm hoping that if things work out well, I am going to go back to Japan, to Tokyo. Me and some friends, we're going to go to Tokyo for the Tokyo Game Show. We're going to do like that for about a day, but we're also going to explore I'm actually looking at exploring other parts of Japan that I haven't been to, if time allows it. But I eventually want to go to South America. I want to try to go to probably like when the temperature, when it's warmer down there below the equator.
Yeah. They have a different season. Our winter is their summer or something, I guess. Or kind of. I know it's like that for New Zealand and Australia. Like December's our winter, but that's the middle of their summer down here.
Yep. So that's what I got planned out. So, but we'll see. But everything is on a we'll see basis.
So for all our fans out there, go check out Sean on Site, subscribe to his YouTube channel, find him on Instagram, find him on TikTok, wherever he's at. You will not be disappointed. Hey, and some of it might be a little PG-13. That's okay. You're getting the genuine guy. There's no games, no BS behind him. He's a great guy. Like I said, I've worked with him a couple times. He's interviewed me, and we're in the same industry. He's got a great reputation. He's just a great guy. So go out and support him, subscribe to his channels, and give the guy some love. He definitely needs it, and he's going to be the next YouTuber that everybody's going to be looking at for travel and stuff, especially for the single guy out there tearing the world up and doing his thing. So I want to thank Sean for being on the channel today, and If you like what you saw, make sure to like, share, and subscribe. We're on all the social platforms, Facebook, Instagram, TikTok. You can find us on Rumble and Odyssey, YouTube, you name it. We're there. You can also go to our Patreon and Locals page if you want to subscribe and help us out. We don't always get paid doing this. It's a labor of love a lot of times, but any help that anybody can give us. So for Sean on site and for the Kling Connection, Sean Kling, thank you for joining us. And until next time, have fun storming the castle.
Peace and love, everybody.
And that's a wrap on today's episode of the Kling Connection Travel Talk Podcast. Huge thanks to our guest, Sean from Sean on Site, for sharing his incredible travel stories. Remember, keep exploring, one journey at a time.